Well, hello and welcome to the Alpha Anywhere Security Repository. Here we have a collection of pages and components to help you build out a login system for your application. We're taking a look at the first page that a user will come to, and that is the login page. You'll see that here in the Web Projects control panel. And, it's a login component. It allows you to see the password or not see the password. Pretty basic stuff. If you do log in, it's going to try to take you to a page called portal.a5w. And if you want to reset your password, you can click this here to reset password. That's actually going to take you to a page called request reset. You'll type in your email address and you'll hit reset, and it will send you an email. When you get that email, the email will contain a link, and in that link will be a GUID. And if you click on that link within 20 minutes, it'll take you to a page, and that link will still be valid. So there's some information about all of this in the README file in the repository. So when that happens, it logs in the user, asks them for a new password, and then it lets them in. So the basic way that this works is we've got a login page that I've shown you, and the portal page, that's the destination page. But the one for resetting the password, that one is called request reset A5W. So this one here. And all this really is a placeholder for the web component by the same name. So we're going to go over here to web components. And here's request reset. I'm going to edit that. Okay, and built into this is a request reset function is built into this component. I'll just show you what the controls look like so you can be oriented, but this is basically where it just asks you to enter in your email address and tells you to click the button. And then once it has been submitted, we use a card to create an animation effect that tells you that your request has been submitted. All the heavy lifting, though, actually takes place in the XBasic function, and there's some documentation about how that works in the README file as well. Basically, you're going to need to set some parameters in here so that we can write a record to a database, and that has to be a database in a specific format. Again, that's in the repo. We're also using SparkPost to send out the email address. So what you're going to do is you're going to look through here, and what I've done is places where you're going to find that you need to insert stuff. I use a double bracket notation. Let's see if I can find one here for you. Here you go. Your connection string name, for example, is one of those. Again, this is also in the README file. When that is done, this sends out the email, and then when you get the email and the user clicks on it, it takes them back to another A5W page called Reset Part 1. This actually has got a fair amount of code behind it, so let me show you what's in that. I'm going to click Edit, and here in the Edit section, we'll take a look right in the source, because there's really nothing to be seen in the WYSIWYG. And here in the source, we do a couple of things. First is we check to see whether or not we found the GUID. So that's kind of a key thing here. And then if it did find the GUID, it looks it up in the database. Sorry, I'm pausing as I'm reading through here, but you can read through this code yourself. Again, and once it finds that, it then says that the GUID is used. It writes that to a database. After that, what it does is it resets the user's password, and it does that using a function that first resets it to a system password, then takes that system password and places it into some session variables along with the username of the user. And if that's all okay, and if the GUID was accepted, it's going to push you on to Reset Part 2. Reset Part 2 is a page that really just contains a web component, and that web component is called, let me find it, User Change Password. If you're familiar with the User Change Password template that's built into Alpha Anywhere, it's very similar, what we've done is we've hidden the username and we've hidden the old password field because those are being passed in by session variables. Here's one of the session variables here for email, and then for password we did the same thing here for password. So that's all there is to it. When that's done, again, we pass them back on to portal.a5w. Portal page is, in this example, is included. It's not very exciting. It just says, this is the page you get to after you log in. The other thing you might want to take a look at, or actually you don't really have to take a look at, is this forbidden page. It just tells you this is the page that shows you that you don't have access to a particular page. The reason I'm including this in the project is just for convenience. When you're setting up the security system, it's one of those things that's asked for. So I'm giving you the forbidden and the portal pages basically as templates that you can do whatever you want with. If you do have questions on this, go ahead and send them to guides, GUIDES, @alphasoftware.com. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.